So today we are going to talk about Germany's long-awaited and highly anticipated legalization of cannabis. So hi there and welcome to another episode of High News with me, Cy Williams. Today we delve deeply into the realm of Germany's groundbreaking decision to legalize cannabis for recreational use. This move by Olaf Scholz's coalition government marks a significant shift in drug policy, making Germany the world's largest potential market for legally sold cannabis. And the implications are vast, touching on economic benefits, public health concerns, and international drug regulations. Oh, I can't wait for the movie. Germany's cannabis reforms were approved this week, overcoming the final legislative hurdle when the Bundesrat, Germany's upper house, voted through the bill that passed through with a huge majority in the Bundestag, that's the lower house, last month. Now, Germany is a significant addition to the growing list of countries defecting from the drug war consensus that had held on for more than half a century. Now, more than 500 million people now live in the jurisdictions establishing legal adult access to cannabis for recreational use. Pretty impressive, right? When Germany's new law comes into force on April 1st, it will decriminalize possession of up to 25 grams of cannabis for personal use and up to 50 in the home. It will allow requests to remove criminal records for past possession, and it will legalize home growing of up to 3 plants for personal use. It will also establish a regulatory framework for not-for-profit associations within which cannabis can be grown and supplied to their members. Now, when the cannabis reforms were initially announced by Germany's coalition government in 2021, the plan was for a regulated commercial market, more like ours, like Canada's, that we established in 2018. Now, studies have suggested that such a commercial market would create 27,000 jobs in Germany and be worth 4.7 billion euro annually in tax revenue. And then there's the justice savings. But these aspirations had to be reined in when it became clear that the commercial market originally envisioned would probably breach a bunch of legal obligations under the UN drug conventions as well as EU law. So instead, Germany has opted for a other form of legalization that provides channels for legal access via home growing or not-for-profit associations. And while it hopes to avoid the minefield of international law that a commercial market would have led to, a similar retrenchment has occurred with reforms in the Czech Republic and in Luxembourg. All 3 countries have moderated their plans and essentially copied Malta, Europe's unlikely cannabis reform pioneer, whose groundbreaking non-commercial home grow and cannabis association model passed in 2021. And this became the blueprint for a new wave of EU reforms. And while Malta has made it clear that its not-for-profit model is a deliberate harm reduction strategy to avoid the risks of big alcohol-style over-commercialization and corporate monopolies, wink, wink, Canada, Germany and other EU countries have unambiguously positioned their new models as a transitional step to a future of commercial retail, but more responsibly regulated. Germany has already announced they will proceed with phase 2 of its cannabis plan in the form of a time-limited retail pilot study in a number of German cities, like similar experiments that happened in Netherlands and in Switzerland. And Germany hopes to finesse the constraints of international law under the banner of scientific research. But as the debate about the merits of different cannabis policy models plays out in a global spanning natural environment, from the 24 U.S. states that have legalized or some sort of for legalization, Canada, Uruguay, South Africa, Mexico, parts of Australia, and now Germany's move feels like it's the next step. With more than 100 times the population of Malta or Luxembourg, and sitting in the heart of the European establishment, Germany has the economic and political influence to significantly reorient laws and the way of thinking about drug policy in the EU and the wider international scale. Now, the road to legalization in Germany has been an interesting journey, to say the least. Germany's left liberal government has been resolute in its commitment to legalizing cannabis since its 2021 coalition deal vow. The recent consultations with experts and stakeholders have set the stage for a draft bill that happened in the second half of 2022. But the decision wasn't just about decriminalization, but it was about regulating the market, breaking up illegal trade, ensuring quality control, and protecting minors. And now we're here. What do you think some of the implications and challenges are going to be? Now, from our perspective, legalizing cannabis in Europe's largest economy could have far-reaching effects. It probably will pave the way for other countries to follow suit and could even lead to a reevaluation overall of international drug policy and conventions. However, Germany faces some tough choices ahead, let me tell you. Lessons from countries like Uruguay, California, us here in Canada, and the Netherlands show that legalizing cannabis is not without its own particular set of challenges. Ensuring a smooth transition from black market sales to proper regulated distribution will be key. And there are economic benefits and social concerns revolving around Germany's legalization that are very important to take into account. The economic gains from legalizing cannabis in Germany are substantial. Estimates suggest annual revenues of 4.7 billion euro could be generated through taxes, and cost saving from reduced law enforcement efforts against recreational users will be staggering as well. Concerns about youth access and addiction youth addiction are on everybody's mind. So between those economic opportunities and the public health imperatives, it will be crucial for the success of this policy shift to take these into account. As far as the international landscape goes, Germany's move towards legalization could spark a domino effect across Europe. Countries like France, with significant issues related to illegal cannabis use, are closely monitoring Germany's progress. The potential revision of international drug conventions may also be on the horizon, as more countries challenge existing norms around cannabis regulation overall. Now, Germany's journey towards legalizing cannabis is a complex one. And it's filled with promise, and it's filled with pitfall. And as Europe's largest economy takes this bold, big step, all eyes are on it and how it will navigate the challenges ahead and see if they can set an example for others to follow. In Canada's cannabis sector, recent developments here have sparked significant interest and concern. Companies like Canopy Growth are now eyeing opportunities in Germany as that country moves towards proper cannabis legalization, potentially expanding the market in a big way. Oxley Cannabis Group faces its own challenges as its auditor raised doubts about its ability to continue as a going concern despite improved financial performance in 2023. Canopy Growth's top executive views the impending cannabis legalization in Germany as a promising opportunity for market expansion. Now, with Germany moving towards legalizing cannabis just around the corner, Canopy Growth seems to be poised to capitalize on this potential growth as well. And Oxley Cannabis Group, and even though they reported record sales in 2023 leading to a reduction in net losses, despite this positive financial performance, the company's auditor did raise those concerns about its ability to continue to sustain operations. What was that again? A going concern? This highlights the financial challenges faced by Oxley, despite its improved sales figures. Go figure. Now, in community news, 2 major events went down in Canada in March, and one was phenomenal. And one is still reeling in the aftermath of allegations of overall bad business behavior and practices, IP theft, sexism, ableism, as well as those whispers of transphobia and homophobia. Now, I would not want to be involved in that sort of thing, but hey, we actually sidestepped that particular event entirely, and instead we celebrated the Tether Buds sampling event. And there were actually 3 of these amazing events that took place in 3 different cities over B Week. That's Bud Tender Week for those of you who might not know. Top-notch event across the board. Kudos to Tetherbuds and kudos to the organizers, especially Mackenzie. That happened in Vancouver, Toronto, and Edmonton. Okay, that's it for me. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Cy Williams sharing with you, members of our High Can fam, the news in the sector that you should be aware of. That's it for me. Stay high, stay happy, everybody. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Peace out.